channel. I hope you guys are all doing good today. The subject today is going to be Suzanne Morphew, the missing 49-year-old Colorado woman. What are they putting in the water in Colorado? No, Colorado is an awesome state, actually. It's beautiful. You got the Rocky Mountains, you got the city, Denver. Well, I know Chaffee, where she is from, what they said was like 150 miles northeast of Denver. But I lived in Colorado for like almost 9 years, and I lived basically in Denver and then the suburbs of Denver. So you had the mountains and then you had the city. But Colorado's beautiful. It really is. That's why so many people are moving there from out of state. It's like a highly populated state because everybody wants a piece of it. But it's a really beautiful state to live in. But anyway, so as soon as I heard about this case, I immediately became interested in it. There's not a lot of stuff out yet about the case and about what they've found. They're keeping everything really quiet. But I am in some Facebook groups, and I'm learning a little bit of information, a little bit of hearsay, a little bit of stuff I want to bring up to you guys to see if you guys have heard some of this stuff, if you know anything about it, because I know there's a lot of you that are doing research yourself on it and finding information. So I just wanted to do this video and kind of bring up some things I've been hearing and see what you guys all think about it. Okay, so first thing I wanted to bring up is they did find some personal items, they said, and it sounded like it was something other than the bike, the way that the press release went, the way he kind of answered the question. So not only did they find the bike, but it sounds like they did find a few personal items. They won't let us know what they are yet. There is an interesting comment that he says during the press release. They ask him, one of the reporters asks him if the husband is cooperating. And he answers this by saying, yes, he's cooperating, and I hope he will continue cooperating. That's just kind of an odd way to answer that, I feel like. Are they kind of suspicious about him? Because why not just say, yes, he's cooperating, but instead he added, I hope he continues cooperating. Like he has a reason to believe maybe Barry is gonna quit cooperating or something. I don't know. Let me know what you guys make of that.
Now, is the husband cooperating?
Yes, he's been cooperative at this point. We hope he continues to do so.
Okay, so the next thing, I want to show you this map here. It shows where the personal item was discovered, and then it shows you where the Morphews lived, where their home was. And you see it's right there in the main road on Highway 50, it looks like. Did somebody in a car come and pick her up and take her? They said it's only 50 meters from Suzanne's home, where they found the personal item. But in the press release, he makes it seem like there's more than one item because he says personal items.
Yesterday afternoon, which is Thursday, in the area of County Road 225 and Highway 50, we did find items that we believe were personal items of Suzanne Morphew, and that launched a bigger search we had today, which included the full closure of U.S. Highway 50 on Monarch Pass. Can you say what the items were that you found? Well, the question was if I can repeat what the items were found. Just so everybody knows, I can't offer any information on any clues or anything we found during this investigation. It is an open investigation, and so we can't disclose that information at this time.
So that makes me wonder how many they found, and I don't know, I guess if they're going to release it. And I don't know if they will release it anytime soon because it's a part of the investigation. I mean, they're trying to do their investigation, so I don't know if they're allowed to release. Who knows, but I'm sure eventually it'll probably get leaked or something. You know how that goes with social media. So anyway, yeah, so it's 500 meters from her house is where the personal item was found. But like I said, I don't know. He says personal items, so I don't know if there's more than one item, and if there is, were they all found in the same spot? Or were they scattered? That would be very telling, because if they're scattered throughout the trees and the forest and, out in the nature part, then it would make you think that if somebody did take her, maybe she ran out. Because if somebody picked her up in a car and it was just like a clean take and they got her right from the road, or if she was running or somebody was chasing her and some of the items were back. I mean, that would make more sense that maybe she was running or something happened back behind, not necessarily right on the road if the items were found within the trees or more back off the road. Does that make sense? So I guess it would be very interesting to know where the items were found. If they were found by the road or if they're found back in here somewhere or here. I mean, you never know how far back. And then that would be kind of telling on more what happened. Like I said, if it was in the road, then it would look more like somebody just grabbed her from the road, or she left from the road. But if it was back here, it could be like somebody was chasing her or took her back this way. So let me know what you guys think about that. And then I found this interesting post here. So first of all, I found the post on Facebook where it says there's a post on Channel 5 Facebook from a person named Perez that saw a lady in an SUV yelling she was being kidnapped. She said she did not call then as she heard nothing on the news and wondered why the lady didn't jump out or others react. I cannot message a screenshot because you have no messaging or email capacity. That is public. I sent it to your victim advocate's email. But then I went to Channel 5 to see if I could find that post, and I found this. It says, so this is the person that supposedly saw this lady yelling that she was being kidnapped from an SUV. So she says, no, I just saw some woman screaming out a SUV window that she was being kidnapped. Would have been convenient to know it wasn't an exaggeration before she got murdered. I checked the news for 2 days and didn't see anything on missing people, so didn't worry about it. Then the other lady responded to her, then why didn't you call the police when you saw it? Did you need a news story to confirm what was happening in front of you? If you are serious, then I hope you have contacted the police to let them know time and vehicle description. I mean, that's interesting. She might have seen her get kidnapped. And hopefully she does call the police and give her these details. You would have hoped as soon as you see something like that, you should immediately call the police. You always take something like that as serious. You never doubt, well, it might not be serious, so I'm not going to call. No, your first reaction, whether it's serious or not, it's better to be on the safe side. Most people don't just go yelling out windows that they're being kidnapped if it's not true. So you take it as serious, and if it ends up not being serious, then oh well, it was just a mistake. But if it does, then you could have helped save somebody. So I don't know what to make out of that. Has any of you guys heard this? Or let me know if you guys know anything about this. And then I found an interesting statistic about kidnappings here. So it says number of missing person files in the U.S. by age and gender 2019. While the fear of being kidnapped may persist for one's entire life, in 2019 the number of missing persons under the age of 21 was much higher than those 21 and over, with 235,367 females under 21 reported missing and 62,823 females over the age of 21 reported missing. And another thing, somebody posted on Facebook, Maureen Hartman posted this picture here, this graph, and it says, I'm sure the Chaffee County Sheriff is well aware of this, but it is worth noting. As of April 23rd, Colorado's governor had released 150 prison inmates to thin the population. The report stated they would continue to release more until the risk of COVID ended. So more have likely been released in the last 3 weeks. Highway 50 is a direct route from Cannon City to Salida. One early released inmate is already a suspect in a murder of a woman in Denver less than 2 weeks after his release. I hope Suzanne Morphew is found safe. So how crazy. Good catch on that, or good thinking about thinking, I mean, this could be important. So yeah, good thinking that. Good connection. I mean, this possibly could be important. I mean, it's something that investigators probably want to look into. Check on who's been released and go check on them to see what they're up to. Because I'm sure they're accounted for, like they know where they're supposed to be when they release them. So they could go make sure that they're all where they're supposed to be and doing what they're supposed to be doing. So yeah, Maureen, did you mention this to the sheriff? I mean, I'm sure, like you said, that they're probably aware of this, but you never know. Sometimes they're so busy with the whole investigation that they might overlook some things. I would call and just remind them that, because you never know. I mean, think about some of the cases where the cops didn't do what they should have done or didn't think what they should have been thinking on some of the cases. And then I came across some of her Facebook posts were messages where it looks like maybe she was sick. Like did she have cancer or some kind of treatments? Because you see some of the comments, it says, sweet lady, Shirley's been keeping me updated on your treatments. Miss your pretty smiling face. And then you see somebody else says, hoping things are going well for you with your treatments. So wonders what kind of treatments. Was she sick? Was it cancer? Was it something else? I'm not sure. If anybody knows, let me know about that. Yeah, and somebody else, saying prayers going up, you look great. And here's another interesting thing I found on a few different Facebook groups. There's this guy, John P. Schmitz, who's claiming that he was assaulted by Barry Morphew. So he posts, I have called the tip line and given my info to them. I was assaulted twice by Barry here in Indiana on a job site. I saw evil in his eyes as he attacked me. He entered into a diversion program to avoid charges. I am very concerned. And here's another post by him. He says, I'm very concerned about this news. The husband of this woman assaulted me twice on a job site and was the reason I was in court in Boone County. I saw evil in his eyes that day as he attacked me. And then people were asking, they want to know details. What was the details of the attack? And they kept asking him some questions. So he posted a couple more messages. He says, I know you want to know more about this case. I find it odd that the Indiana court records do not show his conviction or that he was charged. Charges for me were dismissed. I do not want to taint the investigation. Know this, there's a lot to the case here in Indiana involving Barry. I am 100% truthful and accurate, and all will come out if needed. I called the tip line and told them I had info concerning this matter. Please understand that I'm just trying to help. And then people were asking, well, what kind of assault are you talking about? What did he do? And he said, he threw my workers' tools into the road and verbally assaulted them as well as the electricians on the job. Then he came after me, body bummed me the first time, pushed me down the second time. And then somebody asked, any punches thrown? And he responded, no, I put him in a transport hold and stopped him. So I don't know if there's any truth to that. It's interesting. I mean, if he has some kind of temper and this rage and is kind of a violent person. So after that person claimed that he was assaulted and there's records, well, he has the records, but since Barry went into a diversion program, your record gets expunged after you finish the program. But anyway, so somebody looked up the records just to see, and that doesn't show up. But it doesn't mean that it didn't happen, because like you said, if he was in a diversion program, it would have been sealed or expunged. But this is some of his record for basically any arrest record or any charges that he's ever been charged. Well, at least that show up here, I guess, but nothing major. So you have Hollingworth Sawmill versus Barry Morphew. That was a small claims issue. And then you have State of Indiana versus Barry Morphew, and that was an infraction. So I'm not sure what that means exactly. Then you have Lawyers Title Insurance Court versus Barry, and that was a civil case, real property. And then what else do you have? Then you have Hamilton Superior Court 1, which is, let's see, another civil. And then Barry and Suzanne versus Lawyer Title Insurance Corporation. That was a civil. And then State versus Barry, another infraction. Then you have Godby Heating and Air versus RDJ Custom Homes. It's a mortgage foreclosure. Then you have Beaver Products versus Custom Homes and another mortgage foreclosure. Then you have BML Landscaping versus Robert J. Lunsford. It's a civil. State versus Barry Morphew. That is infraction. Says federal commercial motor carrier violations. Oh, that other infraction up there that I mentioned was a failure to use safety belt. So it looks like he's got like, what, 2 or 3 of the failure to use safety belt. And then you have State versus Barry Morphew is another infraction, and it just says seatbelt violation. So nothing really too major on that. I mean, they say he was away. He was in Denver that night that it happened. That day that it happened, he was away for something to do with his volunteer firefighting, like a meeting or something. There was something out of town that they had to go to, I guess. So he wasn't in town when this happened, I guess. So Suzanne's husband, Barry, has also put out a $100,000 reward, which I talked about on my first video about this, and then somebody matched it, so it was $200,000. But he put it out, no questions asked. He put it out right away, which some people are thinking is odd. I'm not sure if that is weird for the husband to put it out like instantly and have no questions asked. Somebody mentioned, well, he probably put it out so quick because he knew they wouldn't find her, because they're thinking if he's behind it, they just knew that they would never find her alive. It's just somebody's speculation, so he knew he could put it out and he would never have to pay it, I guess, is what they were saying. But who knows? I mean, innocent till proven guilty, I know. And we don't know much about him yet, so I guess he declined to make a public plea when asked by the local news station, saying it was simply too soon. I get that, though, because the minute you go out there, then you're attacked and you're analyzed and people say all kinds of stuff, and it usually doesn't help when they go out and make a video or a plea. It doesn't, I feel like it's not gonna, if she is kidnapped, it's not gonna make the kidnapper go, oh shoot, her husband made a plea, maybe we should return her. I don't feel like it has any effect on what the outcome is, as far as if she is kidnapped, that they'll release her if the husband makes a plea. So I guess I don't really blame him on that, but I would be interested to see his reaction and kind of, you know how the true crime community is. We like to dissect and analyze. We would like to see his reaction and be able to kind of see the body language and try to feel him out. So as much as I would love to see a video of him explaining and talking about it so we could kind of know a little bit more about him and see how he's reacting, I don't blame him for not wanting to do it right now. That's all I'm saying. And I honestly, I'm a little nervous, like if he does come out and do an interview and we try to read his body language. Remember the Shane interview from the Heidi Broussard case, how we all got that wrong because he did seem odd and the body language did go along with stuff we've learned about body language, but yet it was off. And whether maybe it is because he was deceiving us in some way, not that he did that, he had anything to do with the crime, but maybe because of how he treated her in the past. I don't know why that happened and why it was so odd and it came out that it wasn't even him. But I'm just going to be a little nervous to analyze it, knowing how we all kind of got that other interview wrong. And I would hate to point a finger at somebody and accuse somebody if they were innocent. But I guess it's just, as long as we make it clear that it's just our opinion, and I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens with this case. And I'm sure eventually he will do an interview, so I guess we'll see how that looks. So here's another pretty interesting post I found on Facebook from somebody who knows the Morphew family. So she says, I grew up in Alexandria, Anderson, Indiana. She is the sister of Andy Mormon. I worked for Andy for a few years at his family business. My mother is a teacher and had her daughter in class. I have my suspicions on stuff, just from things I've heard. I sincerely hope she is found alive and safe. So I wonder what things she's heard. Like, I wonder if she heard stuff from her mom, being a teacher of Suzanne's daughters, if she kind of knew some family drama or something. If her mom told her some of the stuff that was going on within the family, if there was a lot of drama, a lot of issues. And then the fact that this person worked for her, basically Suzanne's brother, she might have heard a lot of stuff there too. So like I said, I don't know how much truth this is. These are just posts I found on Facebook that I thought maybe you guys would be interested in. So also, Suzanne ran a charity organization that operated under her name. She started the Suzanne R. Morphew Hope Foundation in 2012, according to business records with the Indiana Secretary of State's office. Her husband was also listed as a principal. Morphew formally dissolved the nonprofit organization in Indiana and relocated it to Colorado. It was registered with the Colorado Secretary of State's office in February 2020, records show. Morphew's organization did not appear to have an operational website. It is listed with ProPublica and Charity Navigator as a non-profit entity in good standing, but neither indicates which causes Morphew may have focused her efforts on. Morphew's husband, Barry, is a business owner. According to Indiana business records, he started a company called BLM Enterprises in 2004. He is also listed as an agent with BLM Landscaping in Indiana. The Chaffee County Sheriff's Office listed Morphew's home as being in Maysville, which is a census-designated area with a population of about 135 people. So a lot of people were mentioning in the Facebook groups, the houses, if you look, are so spread out. They're like 8 miles or quite a few miles apart. So how did the neighbor know that she left and didn't return? So either she would have had to tell the neighbor, hey, I'm going out. If I don't come back by this time, call the police. Like that rumor, I don't know if that's true, but I got a comment under my video and Plunder said she got a comment under hers, and I guess there's other channels. This person is commenting that the comment under mine said a video, but then I heard a text, but basically that she contacted her neighbor before she left to say, hey, if I don't come back, call the police. So I'm not sure if it's true, who is going under all these videos saying that, but I guess we'll find out eventually. So you're wondering, okay, that maybe that's true, because how would the neighbor know with the houses being so far apart if she came or left if she hadn't told her she was leaving. Another scenario that people were saying could be a possible scenario is that maybe her daughters were trying to get a hold of her and they knew she was going out on a bike ride and they couldn't get a hold of her, so they called a neighbor and said, hey, can you go check to see if my mom's home? So that could be a possible scenario too. So family members say Barry Morphew was in Denver when a neighbor reported his wife missing. And Denver is located about 150 miles northeast of Chaffee County. According to his Facebook page, Barry is a volunteer firefighter in Colorado. He wrote that he is a wildland firefighter at Chaffee County Fire Protection District. The Morphews have 2 teenage daughters. Suzanne previously worked as a teacher in Indiana, so the last time she was active on social media was the day before she disappeared. She posted a photo on Facebook with her 2 daughters with the word blessed on top. One of her friends says she is really the sweetest and most loving soul I know. So according to Barry's Facebook page, he went to Purdue University and he studied horticulture landscape management. That's what I found so far. Let me know if you guys have found anything more interesting in the comments. And I'll keep on digging. There's not much right now released or that they're telling us, but that's about all that I was able to find right now. So let me know what you guys think of some of the stuff I mentioned in the comments, and hopefully you guys all have a good day. Bye.